The diplomatic chamber aboard the Velcaron flagship Eternal Ascendant hummed with barely contained rage. Ambassador Thelix, his crystalline exoskeleton flickering with angry crimson pulses, stood before the viewport that overlooked Earth's orbital shipyard. His compound eyes tracked the small human vessel docked at Platform 7 with the kind of intensity reserved for mortal enemies. "This is unconscionable," he hissed, his translator struggling to convey the depth of his fury. Princess Elsa of the Velcaron Ascendancy, heir to 17 star systems, working as a mechanic with that primitive creature. Captain Morveth, the flagship's commanding officer, remained diplomatically neutral. Her kind had learned long ago that human space was governed by different rules than the orderly Velcaron Empire. "Ambassador, Princess Elsa renounced her titles 3 months ago. Legally, we have no—" "Legally?" Thelix's voice rose to a shriek that made the translator emit feedback. She was destined for the throne. Her genetic markers were perfect, her strategic mind unparalleled. She should be leading fleets, not repairing fusion cores beside some grease-stained ape. At that precise moment aboard Platform 7, Elsa was indeed elbow-deep in a fusion core, though she would have objected strenuously to the ape description of her partner. "Hand me the quantum wrench," she said, her Velcaron physiology allowing her to work in the cramped engine compartment that would have required 3 humans to access. Her slender, segmented limbs moved with practiced precision. Alex Martinez wiped sweat from his forehead and passed her the tool. "You know, when I started this repair business, I never imagined I'd be working with alien royalty." "Former royalty," Elsa corrected, her voice carrying that melodic quality that all Velcarons possessed. "And you're stalling. Did you finish calibrating the antimatter injectors or not?" Alex grinned. "Already done, Your Highness." "Call me that again and I'll recalibrate your face," she said, but there was warmth in her tone. She emerged from the core housing, her chitinous features somehow managing to convey affection despite their alienness. The Velcarons never understood something fundamental about engineering. "What's that?" "That it's honest work. You see a problem, you fix it. There's no political maneuvering, no dynastic expectations, no wondering if your advisors are lying to position themselves better." She set down the wrench and looked at Alex with her multifaceted eyes. "When we repair a ship, it either works or it doesn't. Truth is binary." Alex understood. He'd been the one to find her 6 months ago, hiding in the lower levels of New Houston Station, desperate to escape an arranged political marriage to a Velcaron duke she'd never met. She'd had nothing but the clothes on her back and an encyclopedic knowledge of faster-than-light drive systems. "Well," he said, checking his diagnostic readouts, "the truth is this core is running at 103% efficiency now, better than factory specifications." "Of course it is," Elsa said with unmistakable pride. "Humans might have invented the quantum wrench, but Velcarons perfected engine harmonics millennia ago. Together we're—" The communications panel lit up with an incoming priority signal. Alex's expression darkened when he saw the Velcaron diplomatic codes. "Don't answer it," Elsa said quietly. "They've been calling every day for a week. Maybe we should—" "No." Her voice carried an edge of steel that reminded Alex that regardless of her chosen profession, she had been raised to command. "The moment I engage with them, they'll consider it an opening for negotiation. There is nothing to negotiate." But the Velcarons weren't relying solely on communication. Ambassador Thelix had already deployed his final gambit. The diplomatic shuttle arrived at Platform 7 an hour later. 3 Velcaron nobles emerged, their ceremonial armor gleaming under the station's lights. Leading them was Duke Saren, the very noble Elsa had been meant to marry. "I'm not seeing them," Elsa said flatly when station security notified them of visitors. Alex put a hand on her shoulder, a gesture that would have been scandalous in Velcaron society, where physical contact outside one's caste was forbidden. "Maybe you should. Tell them yourself one last time." She considered this. Her antennae twitching in the way Alex had learned meant she was thinking deeply. "Fine. But you're coming with me." The meeting took place in the station's conference room. Duke Saren was impressive by any measure. Tall even for a Velcaron, his exoskeleton bearing the platinum inlays of his rank, his presence commanding respect. "Princess Elsa," he began, his voice formal, "I come to offer you one final opportunity to reconsider this aberration. Return to the ascendancy. Your people need you. My people, Elsa said carefully, are doing just fine without me. My sister Valana is a far better politician than I ever was. You were bred for leadership. I was bred, Elsa corrected, her voice sharp, like livestock. Genetically optimized, socially programmed, politically positioned. But the Velkarans forgot something in all their careful breeding programs. And what is that? Elsa stood and walked to where Alex sat. She took his hand, calloused and scarred from years of mechanical work, in her own smooth, segmented one. The gesture was unmistakable. That happiness matters. That choice matters. That love, she squeezed Alex's hand, matters more than genetic. Compatibility indexes and strategic alliances, Duke. Saren's exoskeleton flushed with colors. That Alex's translation software labeled as profound shame and aristocratic outrage. You would choose this human over an empire? Every single time, Elsa said simply. He is beneath you. His lifespan is a fraction of yours. His species has barely left its own star system. What future could you possibly have with such a primitive? That's enough, Alex said quietly, standing. He was half the Duke's size, his species dismissed by the Velkarans as barely civilized. But something in his voice made the alien noble pause. You want to know what future we have? I'll tell you. Yesterday, Elsa and I designed a new harmonic dampener that'll reduce FTL engine stress by 40%. Last week, we solved a coolant leak problem that's plagued freighter designs for a decade. Tomorrow, we're going to keep building things, fixing things, making the universe work a little better. He met the Duke's multifaceted gaze without flinching. You talk about her being beneath herself by working with her hands. But every ship we repair, every engine we optimize, every innovation we create, it helps people. Actual people, not abstract political entities. So yeah, she chose a wrench over a crown, and maybe that makes her the smartest person in this whole damn sector. Silence filled the conference room. Finally, Duke Saren spoke, his voice hollow. The Ascendancy will not forget this insult, Princess. Good, Elsa said. Maybe they'll finally learn that individuals aren't property regardless of their bloodline. The Velkaran delegation departed within the hour. Ambassador Thelix filed 17 formal complaints with the United Earth Diplomatic Corps, all of which were politely acknowledged and filed away. That evening, as they sealed up the fusion core they'd been repairing, Alex noticed Elsa was quieter than usual. Regrets? He asked gently. She looked at him, her alien features somehow conveying everything human emotions could and more. I was taught that the greatest purpose in life was to rule, to command, to shape the destinies of billions. She picked up her quantum wrench, feeling its familiar weight. But I've learned something better. What's that? That there's nobility in creation, dignity in repair, meaning in choosing your own path even if it disappoints those who think they own your future. She smiled, a uniquely Velkaran expression that Alex had learned to read. I was destined for a throne, but I chose a wrench. And I've never been happier. Alex pulled her close, and together they looked out at the stars, not as rulers or subjects, but as partners, equals, and above all, free. The fusion core hummed to life behind them, running perfectly. Truth, as Elsa had said, was binary, and the truth was simple. Love, freely chosen, would always matter more than crowns forcibly given.